And welcome to Boone, North Carolina on a beautiful night for college football here at The Rock. It's a Sun Belt showdown here in Boone as the Appalachian State Mountaineers take on the Georgia Southern Eagles. A pair of 5-1 squads doing battle, both undefeated in Sun Belt Conference play. Georgia Southern at 3-0, Appalachian State at 2-0. Arkansas State also undefeated as well. Well, conference championship implications in place alongside Jay Walker, former NFL and Howard quarterback. I am Roy Philpott. And Jay, if you like offense, you've come to the right ball game tonight. Both of these teams can score, but they do it in different ways.
Oh, and you're talking about offensive productivity at its highest. Two of the most productive offenses in the country. For Georgia Southern, it all starts with their All-American candidate, Matt Breida. You have to have that type of home run hitter to really give the threat of the deep run against the opposing defense. It all starts with him. He's got game-breaking speed. He's the guy they look to for the long run. But this is a triple option offense from the shotgun formation. They like to put so much pressure on the perimeter defenses that they actually give you misdirection. They rarely run directly at you. You get quarterbacks with athleticism on the corner. They make appropriate pitches. This offense averages 399 yards rushing per game. They do it with great misdirection and fantastic athletes, particularly Matt Breida, everybody's all-conference running back.
Matt Breida, certainly one to watch. Appalachian State, meanwhile, Jay, will do it in a different way with some old-school football.
You know, they go like USC, student body left, student body right. For them, it's stretch left, stretch right. They're going to continue to run that stretch play to really make your cornerbacks get involved in the run-stopping defense. But once the cornerbacks start peeking in the backfield, look out. This is a very balanced offense. You start thinking outside stretch, wide open wide receiver down the middle of the field. That's why Appalachian State is so effective, averaging 39 points per game. One of the most balanced offenses you see in all of America.
Well, it's an electric atmosphere already in place here inside of Kidd Brewer Stadium. The Sun Belt Conference showdown. Both teams seeking bowl eligibility for the first time in school history. And a win here tonight will get them exactly that. Should be a fun one. Glad you could join us. App State won the opening coin toss and deferred. It'll be the Eagles receiving first.
I think electric is an understatement in terms of the environment here in the crowd. You have the feeling that both teams, both cities, both coaches and fans, they know what's at stake here for this game.
Derek Keaton back deep to receive from his goal line. He'll take it out. And Keaton on his way, pummeled before the 15. Outstanding special teams plays for the Mountaineers. And the crowd already alive.
I mean, this is electric. Thursday night football at its finest.
It was A.J. Howard on the tackle. Matt Breida leads the country in yards per carry, over 10 per touch, Jay.
10-yard average because he has the ability to go the distance on you. Great vision, fantastic speed, and underrated power from the running back position. When you talk to the coaches, they say he can run hard in between the tackles, run through arm tackles. Matt Breida is a special running back for Georgia Southern.
They call it the spread option down in Statesboro. It's basically the triple option out of the shotgun. In motion goes Campbell on first down, and the handoff Breida. Far side with some real estate. And a big-time gain on first down. Give him 21 yards and a first down for the Eagles.
So the average goes up from 10 yards a carry to 10-plus yards a carry. You have to pay attention to him, but what I've noticed watching film of Georgia Southern, they'll run the ball to the right, but they're really watching to see what your defensive end on the opposite side is doing to set up the next play selection. So on that last play, they looked at the outside linebacker, Devin Stringer, saw he was crashing down. Next, they'll probably run an option off of that play to the left.
Stack backfield, inside handoff, Wesley Fields. And a shorter pickup on first down, he'll still net 5. Well, Kevin Ellison helped engineer that upset in the Swamp 2 seasons ago. 4 in white, the quarterback. They want to see him throw it a little bit more effectively, but the rushing totals have been phenomenal.
Yeah, Coach Willie Fritz, when he was at Sam Houston, they ran the ball great, but they threw the ball a lot better than they're doing at Georgia Southern. He said they work on it. They're just not clicking right now. They see so much one-on-one coverage that if they ever get this passing game together, it's going to be for big play potential.
Loaded box for the option. Inside handoff, and again Breida. There's the speed. Keeps that play alive and shoved out of bounds inside the 40. Now in Appalachian State territory, the stop made by Gilchrist.
Did you see how many cuts Breida did? And the special ones can do this in small space. Cut number 1. Cut number 2 to the outside. Get to the outside again, run through the arm tackle, then show the speed and burst to get upfield to pick up the first down. Made him miss That's the inside linebacker, Eric Boggs, who's a real good tackler, but Matt Breida's playing at such a high level right now.
If this pace continues for Breida, likely to go over 1,000 yards for the season on the ground tonight. Ramsby in and gets the pitch. L.A. Ramsby with a nice gain on first down. Georgia Southern dominant at the line of scrimmage. Alex Gray with the tackle.
And they're really winning the battle on first down. Anytime a team that wants to be a run-first offense, defensively you must beat them on first down. And right now, Appalachian State is struggling, slowing down this rushing attack from Georgia Southern.
Yeah, 4 different backs will see the field tonight. Ramsby, who you just saw a few minutes ago, brings the power element to the Eagles. And he'll get the call again, a first down carry after a gain of 7.
This is the matchup I want to see. App State runs a 3-4 defense. They have 3 defensive linemen and 4 linebackers. You wonder, is that enough to hold up against a team that runs the ball extremely well? And that's 300. Give them the extra yard. That's 400 yards rushing the game.
Well, if that stat continues, it'll be top 10 all-time rushing yards per contest in a season. And another pitch. Ramsby. Into the red zone he goes, and another first down for the Eagles. The stop made by Doug Middleton from his free safety position.
Remember I said they set up what outside contain does? So I said earlier they were going to option off number 11, Devin Stringer, first chance they could, because they saw how he was crashing down. Well, take a look at number 11. They said, okay, we know what you're doing. The ball's coming away from you. Now we're going to run right to you. You're looking at the quarterback. Easy pitch to get the running back to the outside. That's fantastic game calling and setting up the plays by the offense.
On the 7th play of the drive, the keeper, Ellison, the spin move, and the shortest pickup of the night so far, gain of 3. Now these two rivals go all the way back to their Southern Conference days, very familiar. And Jay, they don't like each other.
Longtime rivals. I mean, Southern Conference, that was when they were 1AA, not even FCS, but when it was 1AA football. A lot of championships between these two programs. They've been familiar with each other for quite some time. And one of the greatest championship games ever played was between App State and Georgia Southern.
Officially a gain of 2 yards, 2nd down and 8, opening possession of the ball game. Ellison, the stutter step. Ellison towards the end zone. He flips for the touchdown. From 12 yards out, and an acrobatic move into the end zone. Puts Georgia Southern on the scoreboard first.
And then there's the X factor. Ellison made a mental error. I thought he should have given up the pitch right away. Right away, he's supposed to pitch it right now. But such a great athlete, it's that X factor. You can game plan all you want. You better have some athletes to go after an athletic quarterback like Ellison.
Well, you don't see that every day. Alex Hanks on for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. And our new score, 11 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Georgia Southern strikes first. The Eagles lead at 7-0. Kevin Ellison. What a play. Back here in Boone, Willie Fritz, head coach for Georgia Southern in year number 2 after a successful stint at Sam Houston State. You see his record overall continues to be undefeated in Sun Belt play. And Scott Satterfield in his 3rd season here in Boone at the Rock, 16-14, but his program really started to turn the corner a year ago after an overtime home loss to Liberty. Things started to change, and the following week against Troy on the road, the offense in Taylor Lamb really started to take hold. Jay Walker, Roy Philpott back here with you. A fast start for the Eagles. Jay, 8 plays, 86 yards.
And that's what they had to do. The worst nightmare that Coach Satterfield said was, we can't let them get ahead of us early, meaning by more than a touchdown or 2, because they run the ball so well, it'd be impossible to come back in those football games. They absolutely crush opponents when they have an early lead.
There's a flag on the kickoff. Taylor Lamb, the Sun Belt Conference Freshman of the Year a season ago. And the son of Mercer head coach Bobby Lamb, so he's got that coaching DNA.
Offside, kicking team number 5. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Darius Jones Jr., the guilty party. Jason Autry, our referee tonight. You see the numbers on Lamb, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks. He's also sneaky athletic.
Yeah, he can hurt you with his legs. That's something that's kind of underestimated when you talk about Taylor Lamb. Very accurate throwing the football. I thought he played his best football of his career last week versus Louisiana Monroe. Absolutely picked them apart from the pocket, showing his maturity as the game is starting to slow down to him. Very good decision maker.
McElfresh in motion. The stretch on the first play from scrimmage for App State. There goes Marcus Cox, shoved out of bounds.
You're going to see that stretch. Outside, they're going to run the stretch. They're going to continue to run it until you show you can stop it. These two programs know each other. They know what they do, but they do it so well. Look at them. Get to the outside. Poor run support from the outside force. And Marcus Cox, we talk about Breida. Marcus Cox, one of the best outside runners I've seen in quite a while.
Gain of 16 yards and a first down, this time from the 47. Misdirection, but it's Cox again. And he'll gain 1, maybe 2. The stop made by Antoine Williams. Should be noted as well, Georgia Southern without 2 of its top tacklers this evening in the first half. Ironhead Gallen was suspended for targeting in their previous game last week. William Bussey, a reserve linebacker, also out for the first half. You see the numbers on Cox.
He's a good one, and he's a steady guy. Steady Eddie guy. He can do everything they ask him to do. Does not have to leave the football game. Carry's not a concern.
Here's play action on 2nd and long. Down the field looking for Lewis, and he's got it. Ike Lewis the grab, and another first down for the Mountaineers.
Very late throwing that ball across the middle. The safety had a beat on it. Just a missed opportunity, but that's what can happen when you're an accurate thrower. You can get away with late decisions here. Good job by Lamb of stepping up in the pocket. You're going to see the crosser route come from right to left. The safety has a beat on it. Just took one step too late. It would have been a bad turnover. Instead, first down for App State.
Hicklin in coverage, handoff Cox, stacked up at the line and driven backwards. A loss of a yard on the play. Chris De La Rosa leading the charge for the Eagles.
App State averages 284 yards rushing per game. That's second in the conference. You normally lead your conference, but they're in the same conference with Georgia Southern, so they're second in the conference and still in the top 10 rushing in the country.
The head coach Scott Satterfield calls the plays for the Mountaineers. Cox, as the C's parted momentarily, and bullies his way ahead, close to the 25-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and short. De La Rosa again with the stop.
You have the feeling these teams know they're playing for something. I mean, this game is big. It's got huge implications for postseason and conference championships. 2 of the newer members of the Sun Belt Conference. Huge game with rivalries, and there's a little something extra being made on every single play on the field.
Cox loses his helmet. He's got to step off the field for a play. Already 24 rushing yards on this first drive for App State. And the backup Terrence Upshaw checks in.
They're going to throw the football right now. They're looking at the number count saying they're giving us one-on-one all over the field. We've got a matchup with a safety lined up against a slot wide receiver.
Here's Lamb with time. Play action. The pump fake towards the end zone, and it's incomplete. Darius Jones in coverage and looking for his receiver, Williams.
He had him. I mean, you had the matchup that you wanted. Middle of the field open. Great decision where to go with the football, but just led the receiver a little bit too much. Harbor not able to get to it.
That'll bring up a 4th down. And the kicking team on the field, Zach Maddox, a perfect 6 for 6 this year. This will be a 44-yarder from the right hash. Snap, hold, and kick. And the line drive splits the uprights. Maddox remains perfect, and Appalachian State is on the scoreboard. The Georgia Southern Eagles with an early 4-point lead.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is brought to you by Wall Clippers and Trimmers, Wheel Guys, Wheel Grooming. Visit wallwheelguys.com. And Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
Well, a beautiful night here in Boone. Glad you could join us. Jay Walker, Roy Philpott, 7-3 our score. Georgia Southern the early lead. With a 7-play, 48-yard drive by Appalachian State, ending in the 44-yard field goal off the foot of Zach Maddox.
It was a good answer. You knew they had to have some points. They're disappointed they didn't get the touchdown, but they still keep it within a 1-score game, so they'll live with that. But you don't want to get to that battle where trading off field goals for touchdowns.
Both teams averaging right at 40 points per game this year. You look at their schedules as well. Impressive. Appalachian State's lone loss. Number 12 Clemson last month. And then for Georgia Southern, Eagles opened the season with a loss at West Virginia. Since then, both teams undefeated. And this is what we expected. Georgia Southern's going to do it on the ground.
They will run the football until you prove you can stop it. They know the offense is struggling. Throwing the football, both quarterbacks are less than 50% passers. So you wonder at what point does App State say, you know what, we're going to sacrifice a defender in the secondary and bring them up for run support.
Campbell in motion. And the inside zone, straight ahead, a gain of 2.
And you're starting to see it right now. On that last play, they brought the safety down. So App State had 9 defenders in the box. So they're trying to crowd the line of scrimmage, taking some chances in the secondary, trying to get additional run support.
That's really what you have to do to try to take away the ground game, force them to beat you through the air.
Yeah. You see the 2 cornerbacks playing man-to-man coverage up top. Everybody else is in the screen looking for the run.
Ellison, the keeper, sandwiched down. Ronald Blair. Now, Blair was one of the vocal Mountaineers this week. So this one's got a little bit more juice to it when Georgia Southern comes to town. And a big stop right there.
And Blair's a guy that can be a difference maker in the run game. He's an NFL prospect. They use 3 defensive linemen. He's the best one of the group right now. And not only does he play well against Sunbelt foes, he did a really good job in the Clemson game as well.
Mountaineers showing blitz. That'll force the Eagles to change the play. On 3rd down, the option. Ellison, a stutter step and another first down for the Eagles. It's what he does.
How committed to the run is Georgia Southern? It's 3rd and 10, folks. It's 3rd and 10. It's an obvious pass situation. You must throw the football. No. Athletic quarterback in Ellison, great decision, makes one miss. And that's what they talk about, what makes him special. Although the backup Upshaw's a little bit faster, they say Ellison has that extra shape to make defenders miss. That's why he's the starter.
And Willie Fred saying he does not shy away from contact. Play action here, going deep. And overshoots his intended target. That's Ryan Longoria. I'll bring up 2nd down and long.
And some of the frustrations you hear, why can't we get the passing game going? The receiver was open by 3 steps. That's open. College football, you're running a deep route, you have a 2 to 3 yard cushion. You have to be able to hit that pass. But one of the things they're sacrificing when you have an athletic quarterback like Ellison there, you can't expect the passing percentage to be high.
Talking with Willie Fritz this week, he said he wanted to basically double that number for this offense to be as efficient as possible. 66 yards per game isn't going to cut it, and neither is this run. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage, the loss. And it was A.J. Howard.
A.J. Howard is a safety. We talked about them making some sacrifices in their pass coverage. You make an incomplete pass, they bring Howard coming in from the safety position. Watch him just shoot. He's got the running back all the way. Great job getting underneath the wide receiver, attempting to make the block. Huge tackle for a loss.
Number 2 Appalachian State defensive coordinator Nate Woody. Coached at Wofford College for a number of years. He's used to seeing triple option principles. A loss of 9. Ellison catches the wide snap, flag on the field. Down the field, the toss is caught. Miles Campbell the grab. Close to 1st down yardage.
Very close, a very impressive throw. Saw Ellison stand in the pocket tall and deliver a strike. I think the penalty's going to be offsides on App State. I think you turn it down and maybe consider going for it on 4th down.
And awaiting the call here from Jason Autry. Nice pitch and catch, so the first completion of the night for Georgia Southern, Jay.
Offside, defense number 36. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a 1st down.
Alawali Dada, the guilty party. Needed 19, he picked up 20, however.
20 got it, favorable spot, but you see him jump off sides, 36. When he was screened, Dada, but look at him stand tall in the pocket, wait for the receiver to make the break. It's a nice throw.
Trell Gibbs in coverage. The drive continues now for the Eagles. Matt Breida remains on the field. And a fumble on the exchange. It looks like Appalachian State unable to recover. Darian Small was in there trying to blow that play up from the get-go.
And they're going with so many unconventional looks. It's forcing Ellison to reconsider and think a little bit more on his handoff. I put this on the quarterback. You see at the last minute, he's going to try and pull this ball out. He's going, giving it to him. No, I'm going to take it. Kind of indecisive there. That ball put on the ground.
That was Wesley Fields, a backup running back, caught a touchdown pass a week ago. He steps off, and L.A. Ramsby back in. And that time Ellison had trouble with the snap once again and sacked. Nate Norwood. And so we've seen 2 big negative yardage plays on this drive for Georgia Southern.
And those snaps have been going to the left. We've seen Ellison a couple times make a one-handed catch on the left side. That one, the running back being in the way, not able to catch it cleanly.
3.5 sacks on the season now for Norwood. 3rd down and 17. And the conservative call, Breida goes nowhere. Wrapped up and driven down to the turf. Ronald Blair. And Blair's got a mean streak to him. We've seen it a couple of times already.
He can be the difference maker. You know, if you got a defensive lineman that can win his matchup on a continuous basis all evening, then kind of limits the play selection you can have and allows you to get an extra defender over for help in the run game.
Nowicki on to punt this one away. Standing inside his own 30. Scott Satterfield's got to like how the defense responded in that sequence. Wobbler off the foot of Nowicki. Fair caught inside the 20. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mountaineers after the 38-yard punt. When we come back, trailing the Eagles by 4. Friday night, the Geico ESPN High School Football Showcase has a 4A Washington State battle between Kamiak and Lake Stevens. It's Friday Night Lights, 10 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, and also streaming live on Watch ESPN. You Georgia fans take note. Lake Stevens 7-0, number 2 in Class 4A, and quarterbacked by Jacob Eason, a Bulldog commitment. Deep handoff Cox, and sandwiched down near the 20, a gain of 2. Tay Hicklin made the initial contact.
So now this is a great opportunity for the offense to put some points on the board to match, try and take some of the pressure off their defense. Defense did their job. They stopped the potent offense from scoring, got the ball back with decent field position. Now, see if Taylor Lamb can work on throwing the football a little bit better than he did that first drive.
And important to note, too, the Mountaineers defensively giving up just over 11 points per game this year, and that includes 41 at 12th-ranked Clemson. Play action, Lamb with time. And shows the arm strength. Pass is caught. Sims McElfresh the catch. Short of the 40-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10. Caleb Williams in coverage. And after a 20-yard pickup.
We talked about him having the ability to throw the football. Look at the time and protection. Off the play action, everybody's looking for the run. It's a throw. McElfresh, the former walk-on, complete wide receiver that they have. Great route being run. Turn defensive back around. And that's a good sign from Taylor Lamb. Get him comfortable in the pocket, throwing the football. It's going to help you so much with the running game. And after the big completion, pretty sure they're going to run the outside stretch.
Probably a safe bet. Lamb likes to spread the wealth. Really doesn't have a favorite receiver. There's the play. JU caught it. Cox off to the races. A flag on the field in the area of holding. And we'll check the penalty.
Holding, offense number 73. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Devontae Harris, the left tackle.
Yeah, I think that's probably on 75, Parker Collins in the black. He had a lot of jersey there from his guard position, which is surprising because normally if there's a holding flag, it's normally on the left tackle that seals the edge. But in that case there, I think it was Parker Collins.
Yeah, it was pick your poison. Both linemen grabbing jersey. So instead of a 17-yard gain, it'll make it 1st and 20. As time winds down here in our first quarter, a fast-moving first quarter at that. There's the stretch. There's Cox. Hammered to the turf. And a gain of 6 yards. Chris De La Rosa with the tackle. On an electric evening here in Boone. A great turnout of fans at the Rock, otherwise known as Kid Brewer Stadium. Roy Philpott, Jay Walker. Temperatures expected to dive into the mid-50s by the time we're done. And an injured Eagle on the field. It's Patrick Flo. Well, reserve linebacker. You got to remember the Eagles without two linebackers in this first half, as both William Bussey and Ironhead Gallen called for targeting. And the Eagles win last week. A loss of Flo would be significant.
Yeah, they're a little thin coming to this game at linebacker, and Flo is a former starter from 2 seasons ago, so they felt comfortable about him sliding over and taking the spot for Ironhead Gallen this first half. But it seems like he's a little dinged up, so linebacker core that was a little thin because of suspensions for the first half. Looks like they're going to be a little bit thinner for the remainder of this first half.
Defensive coordinator Jack Curtis told us this week he'd have to juggle some things with those first half suspensions. We'll see how this plays out. And a reminder, this game and all of ESPN's great college football action is streaming live on your computer, also on your tablet and smartphone. All you have to do is download the Watch ESPN app or go to watchespn.com.
You know what's so unique about these offenses? You know they're going to run the football. Both of them like to run the football. And defensively, they're doing this against 8-man boxes. You know, when you bring that 8th guy down, right now Georgia Southern has 7. They're probably going to bring a safety down. Here comes the safety. 8 people around the line of scrimmage, but they're still able to pick up positive yardage. Very cohesive offensive line.
Outside zone play again after a gain of 6. He'll net just 2 with a tackle by Hunt. 3rd down and long coming up, so both defenses perhaps settling in a little bit.
When you're playing a conference opponent, you know their tendencies. You know, it's like, I know who you are. You know, we can see everything went on field, but once we get down to playing the game, you are who we've known you to be over the course of our rivalry.
Approaching a minute to play here in the first quarter, and Lamb with time. And now flush near side. Trying to find somebody open, can't do it. Credit the Georgia Southern secondary that time. Jamal Johnson applied the pressure late, and the punt team back on the field for App State.
Great job by the secondary for Georgia Southern, and good job by Taylor Lamb. There was nothing there. Don't force it. Do not have a turnover. Kick it. Live to fight another day. It's a battle of field position.
Scott Satterfield looking for some answers on that drive. Bentley Critcher on to punt this one away, averaging over 42 yards per punt. Keep in mind the Eagles also outstanding on special teams. 3 block punts this year, including 2 by Darius Jones Jr., and they nearly get another one. Beautiful punt by Critcher, who turns it over. Fielded inside the 11 and nowhere to run. He'll lose 2 after the 51-yard punt. Now the first game played between these two squads goes all the way back to 1932, Jay. Of course, Southern Conference rivals, as we told you about. You see the score from last year. Here in Boone, App State's been dominant.
Yeah, I mean, 11-3, 1 tie. Ties are now gone, so you probably won't see that happen too often. But 15-13, pretty balanced history there between these two squads. And as I mentioned before, 2 of the most storied programs when they were in the 1AA FCS level. And they really took the Sun Belt Conference by storm last year. Both of them came in first-year members and finished at the top of the conference. So it was a good move up for them football-wise. They were ready.
Backup quarterback Fabian Upshaw is in with 4.3 speed. And the handoff goes nowhere. And Appalachian State crowding the box. And at some point the Eagles are going to have to throw it. John Law made the tackle. Junior from Atlanta.
When we talk about the adjustment being made, see number 10, the safety, he's going back in pass coverage. No, he's not. They're keeping him out there for run support. That was during the last series, so that lets you know what they're doing about crowding line of scrimmage, getting their safeties involved in run support, willing to sacrifice their starting position on the field in order to get them a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. Final
play of a fast-moving first quarter. Georgia Southern leads it 7-3. A beautiful night for football in Boone, an electric atmosphere. Second quarter just moments away.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is brought to you by Coke Zero, All taste, 0 calories. Try a new game day tradition. And Sonic, prepare your buds for 6 new flavors of boneless wings.
Well, a Sunbelt showdown, second quarter. Back with you in Boone. Jay Walker, Roy Philpott, Fabian Upshaw remains in the game. The backup quarterback for Georgia Southern, who leads Appalachian State by 4. On second and long, Breida down a running lane momentarily. Brought down by Devin Stringer. A gain of 7 yards.
Good decision to make the pitch, and you can tell every time Breida gets the ball, he's like an edge-of-your-seat runner. You just have the feeling that he can break one at any time. That type of athleticism from the running back position. You see Upshaw's numbers on the year, 32% passer. Probably has the better arm of the two between he and Ellison. Better speed, but he's that threat running the ball at the quarterback position.
They'll run the option again. Upshaw, there he goes. Flag on the field. Upshaw into Mountaineers territory. And dragged down from behind, shoved out of bounds. Will check the penalty. It was Latrell Gibbs that finally got to him. A gain of 42 yards, but this one probably coming back.
Holding, offense number 63. 10-yard penalty. Half minutes to go.
Darian Foreman, a left guard and a senior at that.
The only returning starter for this offensive line from a season ago, playing this year, the senior gets called for a held from his left guard position. In a poor timing, poor decision to hold.
See the top 5 rushers for Georgia Southern. Breida by far and away, but they also have other backs that can hurt you.
Think about what I just said. One returning starter from the offensive line from a season ago, and they're number 1 in the country this year. That tells me it's not just the talent, it's the scheme that really helps them run the football effectively. The teams haven't figured it out yet.
No question about it, Jay. They'll run the same play. Upshaw this time nowhere to run. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Ronald Blair again.
He's been active. We've been calling his name a lot. I think that's part of the reason why we've seen Georgia Southern struggle a little bit running the football. You've got some defensive linemen making some tackles, chasing quarterbacks down the line of scrimmage. That could be a difference.
Well, Matt Breida got off to a fast start, but just 1 yard in his last 6 carries. And technically, that's a 3 and out in the first of the game for either squad.
With a decent return here, an opportunity for App State to have fantastic field position.
Bobo Beathard back deep to receive this punt. And the early whistle.
Play clock gets to 0.
Delay game. Offense number 49. Half minutes is the goal. 4th down.
Mental error. You can't make that type of mental mistake when you're on the road. Conference game against one of your rivals. And this is coming down to being a battle of field position. Moving the ball back.
And Nowicki now back deep in the end zone. Mountaineers will have good field position. And the wobbler fielded at the 43. Beathard hammered down. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mountaineers after a 38-yard punt. 7-3 our score. The Eagles still out in front. Well, it was just 2 years ago where Georgia Southern pulled off an upset of its own in the Swamp, November 23rd, 2013. Kevin Ellison, a big day, and the Eagles rushing attack, taking care of business against the Florida Gators, 26-20 the final.
That was when they were still FCS.
Correct.
Georgia Southern, I think that's why you give the little guys a chance. Let a guy like Kevin Ellison, those guys, play against the big boys at least once in their career, once a season.
And Ellison able to engineer that upset, not completing a single pass. Eagles were 0 for 3 in the downfield passing game of the Swamp and still beat Florida 26-20. Short gain for Lamb on 1st down, brought down by De La Rosa. Lamb's coming off a career-high rushing performance, a $103. 59-14 win against Louisiana Monroe last week.
I told you, I thought he looked phenomenal. Had a 72-yard run, threw the ball all over the football field. I thought it was very productive. And thought they'd utilize him throwing the football a little bit more in order to establish they can throw the ball, then allow Marcus Cox to run the football.
Cox will gain 4, brought down by Riyad Jones. Another big third down coming up, although the Mountaineers may be in 4-down territory.
You would think so. And this is one of those times where you'll see the outside stretch coming. And the key, what makes them so good at it, normally you run the outside stretch to the field where you have more room. They will run it to the left or right and will not tip their hand on where they're going to run the football.
Third down and 2. Play action. Caught in the flats. Beathard keeps the play alive, stays in bounds, and inside the red zone he goes. Finally brought down by De La Rosa, but another first down for the Mountaineers in a gain of 16.
Antonio Glover had an opportunity to make a tackle for a loss. He had a great beat on the ball. You're going to see number 16 in white come in. He's got Beathard, takes a good angle, but dipped his head, lost sight of the target, allowing Beathard to make one man miss and pick up the first down.
Glover's been outstanding in coverage this year. Team high 5 interceptions. Lamb simply throw this one away. Well, he plays like the son of a head coach. Certainly smart with the football. He's not going to risk a dangerous throw.
And it was the decision he made early in the football game to throw the ball out of bounds, not force the interception, punt, pin Georgia Southern back, and now they've got great field position when they got the football. So as a quarterback, you learn in these type of games, field position is key. Don't take unnecessary risk. Just a sophomore, so his best football is clearly ahead of him. And I really like what I see when I watch Taylor Lamb in person, as well as when you watch the film of him playing throughout the season.
Keep in mind these two teams have won nearly a combined 20 Sun Belt games in a row coming into tonight's ball game. The stretch to Cox, keeps it alive, on his feet, touchdown!
They're going to stretch you out. You're going to see it. You know, here it is. Stop it. Find a hole. One tackle. Good running back's going to make you miss in the backfield. Breaks one tackle. Finds a running lane. That is typical App State football.
First lead of the night for the Mountaineers. Marcus Cox from 18 yards out. 5 plays, 41 yards on the drive in just under 2 minutes. Flag on the field for the point after. Meeting of the minds at the 5-yard line. Let's say ye, Jason Autry.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, 66 of the kicking team, unsportsmanlike conduct, 56 of the defensive team. The penalty's offset. Result will try is good.
What you expect in a rivalry game. We expect more of this as we go through the night. Marcus Cox, his 5th touchdown of the season, and the Mountaineers out in front for the first time. Saturday on ABC, it's college football presented by Kay Jewelers. Number 6 and undefeated Clemson squares off against the Miami Hurricanes. Then in a Saturday night football presented by Walmart, number 1 ranked Ohio State takes on Rutgers. It's Clemson, Miami at noon, followed by Ohio State, Rutgers at 8 on ABC. Also streaming live on Watch ESPN. So for the Buckeyes, JT Barrett named the starting quarterback this week over Cardell Jones for the first time. Very interesting.
Yeah, you know, they gave Cardell Jones every opportunity to keep that momentum going. And normally you say you lose your job as a quarterback and you start losing football games. I mean, that young kid's still undefeated. He has not lost a college football game yet, but I think they get more, and the same could be said for Barrett. Played very well. He hasn't lost a game in a while, so they're just loaded. What a luxury it is for Urban Meyer to have those two guys playing quarterback, and Braxton Miller looks like he's going to turn into a first-round pick at the wide receiver position. Back
here to live action in Boone. 10-7 our score. Appalachian State its first lead tonight. Georgia Southern's got to find a way to get back on track offensively after an explosive opening possession.
And I think it goes back to getting the ball to Breida. You know, Breida established first carry from scrimmage, 20 yards. He's feeling it. And when running backs are in the zone, sometimes you have to tell your quarterback, hey, we're going to give him the ball anyway. Don't do the zone read. Give it to Breida, let him run. And right now, you have Breida on the sideline, not even in the game, so they're going to see if they can get Ramsey some more carries.
Ellison back in at quarterback. Inside handoff, a short pickup. Mountaineers stacking the box right now and winning the war up front.
And Ramsby's a guy that runs well in between the tackles. He's their short yardage runner. Former quarterback that's really aggressive running the football in between the tackles. Shifty, but doesn't have that home run hitting speed. Matt Breida brings that to the game, and the defenses know that. A little surprised they're not using him a little bit more right now.
Eagles average just 66 yards through the air this season per game. This time they'll try the far side, a 3-yard pickup. 3rd down and 5 coming up. Ramsby the ball carrier once again. So 3rd down and 5, short enough to run the option here. Do you go back to the air?
The way they've been running the option, I would run it, but they don't have Breida on the field, so I'm thinking they're going to throw the football. They've been able to get some protection when they pass it. With the 3-man defensive line, you're not going to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So if I'm Ellison, if the read's not there, I take off right away.
Ellison torched Appalachian State for $151 on the ground a year ago.
They're blitzing it.
Here comes the pressure. Pocket collapses. Ellison runs into his own man, and down he goes. He'll lose 3 on the sack. Nowhere to run, and Dada brings him down.
They brought a gap blitz. So they brought every gap was covered because they still have to respect the run. So you're going to see the linebackers come. They're not coming in there hard. They're looking for the football first. Are they going to run the option? Okay, they're not. We've got one more than you can block. Ellison almost escaped, ran into his own offensive lineman, but very smart play selection by defensive coordinator Nate Woody to bring the gap blitz and confuse Ellison and come up with a sack.
Dada, the initial contact, Sambo finished him off. And a beautiful spiraling kick. Caught inside the 25 and driven backwards, a 48-yard punt. Well, it was 1 year ago down in Statesboro. Georgia Southern raced out to a 17-0 lead. A big night for Matt Breida. Kevin Ellison rushed for over 150 yards in a 34-14 victory. A lot of the players talking this week, they remember what happened. Appalachian State said Ellison was talking trash at the very end of that contest, Jay. And
both those teams came in undefeated in conference play. It was early in the year, but it was that recipe. Georgia Southern got out early. You said it was 17-0. If they jump out to those type of leads, you're not going to catch them.
Yeah, it's over.
I mean, they're just so good at running the football, eating the clock up, and moving the chains. Much different start for App State here defensively. Give them credit. They gave up the first score in the opening drive to Georgia Southern. Since then, their defense has been lights out.
And Scott Satterfield telling us this week, we obviously have to run the ball well, stop the run, but stay in it early. Well, Marcus Cox has already rushed for almost 70 yards tonight. And dancing in the backfield, that's a 2-yard pickup. Jalen Moore, the ball carrier.
Both teams going with their backup running backs, having the starters out, and you see the difference here. And that's something I thought would happen more. When you have so much outside stretch run, you think you'd have so many tackles for losses, but they're so good at it, and they run that play on a consistent basis. You don't see many outside tackles being made on that stretch or tackles behind the line of scrimmage.
Big series here for the Eagles defense. Play action Lamb, all kinds of time. Fires his strike, pass is caught by Shaden Metters, a South Carolina native, and he's got a first down, brought down by Darius Jones Jr. Not before he picked up 10.
And those are the throws you get, the luxury of having such a potent rushing attack. Everybody's looking run. Look at all the time. I mean, that's, oh, goodness gracious, I'm jealous. That much time, that's as clean a pocket as you will see in a college football game.
That got you your first NFL contract. Near side carry, it's Moore again. Across the 40. And again, a 6.5, call it 7. Stop made by Darius White. We're approaching the halfway point here in our second quarter, and both teams wanting to get that ever elusive Sun Belt win tonight against each other.
means something. You win this game, whoever wins, they're going bowling. More likely. The Sun Belt Conference has 4 bowl affiliations. This will make them bowl eligible, whoever wins this game. So a lot at stake.
Or again, they found something along the left side of the line. Both teams would have been bowl eligible last year, but deemed ineligible by the NCAA, playing their first year in the football bowl subdivision.
And they run, I will say this, they run the stretch better to the left side. Can't explain why, but when it's Parker Collins and Devontae Harris, they seem to get more yardage when they run that stretch play to the left side. Not knocking the right side of the line with none and gossip, but from what I've seen, they're more effective when they can run that stretch on the left. Good things tend to happen.
Taylor Lamb, just a sophomore, 4 out of 6 passing tonight. And his tight end goes in motion. It's not rocket science. Moore, far side. Driven backwards by Ross Alexander. It was Ellison with the initial contact. And some chippiness now on the field between these two riders.
Becoming a very physical football game. You knew it would happen sooner or later with two teams trying to force their will on the running game. Defenses have been on the field starting to find their stride, so intensity levels picked up and the physical nature of the game as well.
Jay, you've played in a lot of rivalry games. How long does it take once the game starts for the emotions to die down? You're just playing ball.
Around the second quarter. Right around the second quarter, third or fourth possession out there on the field.
On second down, Moore, a spin move, and dances his way across the 40. Brought down by De La Rosa, but another first down.
You know, this kid's just a freshman, and they say he's going to be a special one. We like Marcus Cochran. Watch this freshman running the football. Hit the spin button. Is that X? Is that the X button that you hit to make that spin move? And that spin right there enabled him to pick up the first down. He's going to be a really good player.
And Ellison whiffed on the tackle for loss potential. Drive continues, 1st and 10, and now a timeout called by Georgia Southern. So momentum clearly in favor of Appalachian State. Timeout on the field.
First charge timeout.
We'll take one with them. 10-7 Mountaineers here in Boone. (10-7) our score. 5:34 remaining in the first half. Jay Walker, Roy Philpott. These two teams do not like each other, going all the way back to their days in the SoCon. John Law this week, quote, "We know they're a good football team. We respect them. We definitely don't like them."
And that's okay. I like the fact that they say we respect them. You don't have to like them, but you must respect them if you want to go out there and give them an absolute, complete effort.
After the Eagles timeout, nowhere to run for Cox. Brought down near the line. And Jamal Johnson made the hit.
And I'm noticing we talked about Ironhead Gallen not being available for Georgia Southern. We talked about Bussey not being available. 2 linebackers. We saw him lose Patrick Flo. And in their secondary, Matt Dobson's not playing. He's on the sideline right now. So they've got a backup nickel back playing safety, Trey Hickman right now, as well as their starting free safety is out as well. So this is a banged up defense.
We'll try the wheel route to Cox, and there he is. Tiptoes the sideline, shoved out of bounds, but it's 1st down and 10 in the red zone. Gain of 30 yards, and a beautiful fake by Taylor Lamb.
And who did they pick on? They went to number 14. Tay Hickman, we talked about him being in the game, playing out of position a little bit. Number 14 from that safety position. He's got responsibility for Cox coming out of the backfield.
Mountaineers on the move, under 5 to play in the first half. Lamb out of the shotgun. And Moore keeps the play alive. He'll pick up 1, call it 2. Finally brought down by Logan Hunt.
And the coach is a good coach, will have a good feel for the team. When we talked to Scott Satterfield, he said, watch out for Jalen Moore. He's been out for 2 weeks. He had a concussion, just got cleared up, had a great week of practice. And he kind of tipped his hand a little bit. He said Moore's going to be in there, and Moore's going to do some good things. And I like when a coach can tell you that, and when you see it play out on the field, that means he's got a nice pulse of his football program.
Big drive for both of these teams. On 2nd down, Lamb rolls the pocket back in the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Sims McElfresh stayed in bounds, and the Mountaineers reach Paynard once again.
They run the stretch so well to the left side, you must respect it. They come out with the bootleg action, and McElfresh, good job getting behind the secondary. Great concentration. Make the catch, tiptoe in bounds. All you need is 1 foot in college, and that's a score.
4th touchdown of the season for the senior. And the Maddox extra point is up. It is good. 10 plays, 76 yards in just under 5 minutes. And the Mountaineers are rolling on this Thursday night in a Sun Belt showdown. Taylor Lamb finds his man once again. Saturday on ESPN, it's college football primetime presented by Hilton, as the number 15 Aggies are in Oxford to take on the number 24 Rebels at 7. Then at 10:30, we're in Palo Alto as number 10 Stanford and Washington tangle. Both games on ESPN, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. Robert Kimdichie remains out, still not cleared after suffering a concussion last week. The upset loss in the hands of Memphis. 1 yard deep in the end zone. Keaton nearly tripped up. The spin move, and down he goes, crossing the 20.
So the question we were talking about, during the commercial break, what happened to the offense? I mean, they came out, looked like they were going to rip through Appalachian State.
Well, where's Matt Breida, too?
And where's Matt Breida? They need to get back to doing what they did in that first series. And believe it or not, if you think about it, things started going downhill when they attempted a pass. When they were just running the football, even on 3rd and 10, they were picking it up, tried to pass the football a little bit, and they haven't been able to find their rhythm back again. But now we see Breida in the backfield, so it's time to get back to basics if you're Georgia Southern.
Go with that stack formation behind the shotgun. Play action, there's Breida. Needs to make a move, and he can't do it. Upended for a loss, Alex Gray. And this defense feeding off the energy of this crowd here at the Rock.
The crowd has been into it from the opening kickoff, and that's just a great tackle in the open field, textbook. What do you do with a speed guy? Hit him on the thigh. See your target, see what you're hitting. Great job by Alex Gray coming up from his free safety position.
So far, the Mountaineers have been the more physical team tonight. Fake the option outside. A short pickup on 2nd and long. John Law makes the stop.
They're losing those battles. Probably one of the few times you can say that about Georgia Southern. They're losing the battle on the trenches right now. Ronald Blair's doing a fantastic job from his defensive end position. And that's really forced Georgia Southern to play outside of their normal game plan.
Eagles just 2 out of 5 on 3rd down tonight. And virtually no production since the opening possession. The play clock winding down. 2 seconds. Allison's got to hurry. And he didn't get it off in time.
Is that a time? That would have been a quick whistle. I didn't see a flag come. Probably a timeout call.
That's right.
Timeout. Georgia Southern. It's the second charge timeout of the half. It's a 30-second timeout.
Willie Fritz called the timeout. Just 1 remaining for the Eagles, who look a bit confused right now.
They have to find a rhythm. Talk about confusing. Yeah, now they're in an obvious pass situation. It all starts with 36. You have a running back that averages 10 yards a carry. I think, you have to figure out a way to get him going. The offensive coordinator, Doug Roots, is a great one. Schematically, you watch them, they're so hard to game plan. Started out 44 yards on 2 carries. Since then, App State has made an adjustment and really frustrated this Eagle offense.
2:17 remaining. Appalachian State with all 3 of its timeouts left. To a stop here, and the Mountaineers should be in business, already leading by 10 after scoring 17 unanswered. Rams be back in at running back. Georgia Southern just 97 rushing yards in this first half. On 3rd down, Ellison with all kinds of time. Heaves one down the field, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. Gray was in coverage, and the Mountaineers defense holds yet again, Jay.
I used to watch the show Numbers Never Lie. Really like that. Jamel Hill, Mike Smith. Now it's his and hers. But Numbers Never Lie. This is the defense that gives up 11 points a game. App State. Are they playing like it? Think about it. They gave up a quick 7. Since then, they've been lights out. The adjustments that they've made have really paid off. It's been impressive to see what App State has done to slow down Georgia Southern.
Keeping the 8-man box, bringing in the safety at the last second. All paying dividends so far for the Mountaineers. Nowicki on to punt this one away. And Beathard fields it at his 33. And sandwiched down by a trio of defenders after a 43-yard punt. Well, here at the Rock, it's one of the highest points for any college football stadium east of the Mississippi, 3,333 feet. Topping Lane Stadium, other notable college football venues you see in Wyoming and Air Force out west. But the altitude can be a bit of an issue at times.
Definitely so, and I would say I agree with it. I mean, we're high. We're about as high as you can get. The drive-in, you're driving up the mountains. Now, I've gone to Air Force and done games here. You fly in Colorado Springs, so you don't have to drive up the mountain. But here, you're driving up the mountain. No airport on top on this mountain.
And folks, the voice you're hearing that of Jay Walker is one of, well, being afraid, for lack of a better expression.
I'll say it. I'm afraid of heights. So the drive up here was not as easy as I thought it would be. Very scenic, but I wasn't looking.
The complexion turned pale a few minutes ago. And we're way up here. It's a great venue and a great facility here at Kid Brewer Stadium. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Eagles need a stop. Mountaineers want to pile on the points. And a first down pickup, 3 yards.
And for me, being an FCS 1AA guy, this is on my bucket list. Places like Georgia Southern, when I went there last year, that was on my bucket list. We're going there next week. And coming here to Kid Brewer, I've heard so much about it. The upgrades they made to the facility. This is a fantastic place to observe a college football game.
Here's the end around. McElfresh nowhere to run and bulldoze at the 40. Gain of a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and 5. Glover with the contact. Vicious hit.
And you see the respect they have for the quick strike ability of Georgia Southern offensively. No rush right now by Appalachian State in terms of trying to put some points on the board. They're content to go into halftime with this lead. If they can convert this 3rd down, then maybe they'll step on the gas pedal and try and score. But 10-point lead seems to be in their comfort zone right now.
3-man front for the Eagles. Drop back in zone coverage. Pass down the field, caught. McGuire has got the first down, needed 5. He gains 9. Darius Jones Jr. the tackle.
So now I'm getting to the line of scrimmage, maybe even calling a timeout. I'm going to get aggressive right now. You're close to midfield. You've got 3 timeouts. A little bit less than a minute to go. I wouldn't let this clock run. You may need those seconds back.
Zach Maddox perfect this season in the field goal department. 7 for 7 with a long of 51. Lamb scrambles ahead. Fortunate to get back to the line. Butler and also Ross Alexander
Appalachian
team up on the tackle.
First charge timeout of the half. It's a 30-second timeout.
2 more remaining for the Mountaineers, who have a chance to put some more points on the scoreboard. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Matt Schick and the gang will preview Saturday's tilt between Western Kentucky and LSU. 7 Eastern on ESPNU. Plus, we'll be talking about potential head coaching candidates at South Carolina. All that and much more coming up at halftime. And keep in mind, too, current interim head coach for the Gamecocks, Sean Elliott. A successful stint here in Boone at Appalachian State. Offensive line coach. Likes to get down and dirty. He's a guy that they feel like he's got a chance.
Good coaching tree. He's got good genes. Let's not also forget halftime. We're going to break down the Sun Belt Conference.
Here we go.
A lot of good things taking place in this conference here.
Well, the winner of this game tonight, bowl eligible, but Jay, I feel pretty confident in suggesting both of these teams going bowling at the end of the year.
I would think so, but keep in mind, last year they had 5 teams bowl eligible. One team was left out. Texas State didn't make it, so competitive football, a lot goes into getting an invitation to a bowl game, which would be the first for each of these schools in their history.
And just the 2nd year in the football bowl subdivision. Cox the short carry. Mountaineers with 2 timeouts remaining, stopped by Johnson. And content to let the clock move here.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising. I would think that you can throw the ball, pick up 2 first downs, and you're in field goal range.
And with time, we'll tuck it and run. He's got the first down. Clock will stop, move the chains. It's brought down by Antoine Williams. 14 seconds remaining.
Timeout.
And Appalachian State nearly in field goal range, and they'll use one of those 2 timeouts.
I guess so. I would like to see them clock it. Right now, just go ahead and kill it. 14 seconds. Right now, it's not all 4 downs you're worried about. It's the time, on the clock. So you can afford to burn it down because you're only going to be able to run 2 plays tops anyway. But like I thought, they would come back. Those seconds that they let tick off when they got the big play, when they got the first down, when they took it from a minute down to 51 seconds, could have used a timeout there. But they're just a pass away from getting the field goal and increasing this lead.
Remember, these 2 teams have combined for 19 consecutive Sun Belt Conference victories. 2 of the best in this league. Georgia Southern would have won it a year ago had it been eligible. The Eagles have yet to lose a Sun Belt game. That in jeopardy tonight, trailing by 10, 14 seconds remaining in our first half.
Trailing by 10 on the road against their long-term rival. It's going to be very interesting second half, but let's not forget they get a couple defensive players back as well. More importantly, Ironhead Gallen is starting middle linebacker.
Here's Lamb, pocket collapses, stays alive, and finally tackled at the shoestrings. And a timeout will be called. It was Johnson again with the pressure. Jamal Johnson's been active in this second quarter. That's 51 in white.
It's a 30-second timeout.
Now an interesting decision coming up with the ball at the 40-yard line.
Good job by the secondary. Could have been a hole right there, but you saw great penetration by Jamal Johnson from his nose tackle position. Quick guy, great leverage, able to disrupt the timing of the play, forcing Lamb to scramble and hold on to the football.
You try to heave one towards the end zone or pick up 10 yards for the field goal attempt?
I think you go ahead and you throw it, but you're out of timeouts now, right? So now you're looking for an out pattern, something towards the sideline. It is college football, so if you do get the 10 yards, you can go ahead and clock it right away, but 8 seconds, you're going to be cutting it close.
The Mountaineers line up on 2nd and 13, and Georgia Southern now will utilize a timeout.
And this is a good timeout. I like this. D coordinator Jack Curtis, talk to your team about the situation, what you think they may try to do. As you mentioned, there are 8 seconds to go. What all can they do with no timeout? Look for the ball being thrown quick towards the sideline. Maybe tell your defensive back, say, if you see that corner, if they run that quick out, you can jump it, put yourself in a position to make the interception and take it to the house. But make the tackle in play, and let's get into the locker room.
It's the most number of points that Georgia Southern has given up in a first half this year, including their road trip to West Virginia. You see the Sun Belt Conference standings, both teams undefeated. Arkansas State with a big win last night, checking in at 3-0. Red Wolves will be here 2 weeks from tonight against the Mountaineers.
Georgia State, they're going to beat a couple more teams this year. They were on the bottom of the conference for a while, but they got a great trigger man there. They can throw the football. Anytime you can pass, you've got a chance of getting a victory every Saturday.
Cox in the backfield. Lamb looking for the short completion. Has McElfresh. Shoved out at the 34-yard line. And a late flag on the field. That one came from virtually nowhere.
If this is versus Georgia Southern, this could be big in the form of a personal foul. That'd be a 15-yard penalty. Time to go for a field goal if you're App State.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 71, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 51, corrections number 75 of the offense. Those penalties offset. 3rd down.
Parker Collins and Jamal Johnson. And with 4 seconds remaining, the ball remains just inside the 35. Maddox has the leg. His career long is 51. He'll back it up a yard here and make it a 52-yard attempt. A career-long try for Zach Maddox. On the way, and he missed it wide. A big stand for the Georgia Southern defense. And an interesting first 2 quarters in the books. Eagles have to go back to the locker room, Jay, and find something that works offensively.
Yeah, they're going to be playing at full strength in the second half. The offenses are going to heat up. You have to figure that. These two offenses are too good. I think it's going to be fireworks in the second half.
An electric atmosphere indeed here at the Rock, and our halftime score 17-7. The Mountaineers with the lead. Let's send it to Matt Schick in the game for the halftime report. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, he's right here. They're number 1 right now in the FCS, correct?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Top 5.
Jacksonville's ranked number 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Some have them number 2. Yeah. Okay.
Love that picture.
Nevada. So, yeah. Okay.
Ooh. Statue of Liberty.
Yep.
So a Sunbelt breakdown, then Jay's give me 5. Copy.
Well, the Give Me 5 is part of the Sunbelt breakdown. It's like the third talking point.
Okay. You run with it, or I'll set you up. Whatever you do, I'll chime
This
in.
when I stumble, just being there to say, all right, and Jay.
Jay, great job, buddy. Back here in Boone.
This halftime report is
Halftime continues back here at The Rock. 17-7 our score. Appalachian State a 10-point advantage against Georgia Southern. And hi, everybody. Once again, Jay Walker, Roy Philpott on hand. Entertaining first half. Second half kickoff coming up moments from now. First, let's take a look at our Sun Belt breakdown here at halftime, Jay.
Interesting things are taking place. Going into this week, there were 4 teams on top of the conference that were undefeated. Well, at the end of this week, there are only going to be 2 because they had the head-to-head matchup. And on Tuesday night, what a fantastic game. Arkansas State, led by head coach Blake Anderson, watch out for them. They came into the game with a 3-3 record. They absolutely took it to Louisiana Lafayette, jumped on them early. They have so much senior leadership with Rocky Hayes, Freddie Knight, and J.D. McKissick. This is a team that knows how to win. Fantastic coach in Anderson. Watch out for them, and more importantly, they can continue to win because they do not play Georgia Southern this year. Georgia Southern has a pretty easy track. If they can get by App State, they don't play Arkansas State as well as Louisiana Lafayette.
Yeah, keep in mind the Red Wolves here 2 weeks from tonight at The Rock. That should be interesting.
That should be a good one, too. And you continue to talk about Sunbelt news. How about Coastal Carolina, one of the premier programs in FCS football? They're joining the Sunbelt Conference. Like Georgia Southern and App State a season ago, their first year in 2017, they'll play the schedule, but they won't be eligible for anything in the postseason. But they're going to be a great addition. Coach Joe Moglen has a fantastic football squad there. They go deep in the FCS playoff. I think that's going to be another good addition for the conference, adding Coastal Carolina. The Chanticleers are coming to the Sun Belt.
And top 5 nationally, great facilities as well. I think it's going to be a great addition to this conference.
And you always like making a road trip to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Nothing wrong with that.
Always good reason to go down there as well. And finally, guess what?
Give me 5.
I'm going to give you 5 right now. We talk about FCS and FBS teams. How about the 5 best teams to make the jump from 1AA FCS up to Division I or FBS football? We're going to start off number 5, UConn. They went to a postseason bowl. Orange Bowl, had a good success there. Number 4, people don't know this, Nevada. Yes, Colin Kaepernick went there. They were an FCS program for many years under head coach Chris Salt. Number 3, got to go down to Florida. Good program there. South Florida's not on the list because when they brought football back, they went straight Division I, didn't spend any time at FCS. Central Florida's done a good job. Now it starts getting interesting. Who's number 2 going to be? Number 2.
I know who number 1 is.
We are
Marshall.
The
Yes.
Thunder and Herd. They were an FCS powerhouse, winning national championships. And, oh, yeah, remember this guy? Randy Moss with the Leap and Chad Pennington. Goes back to when they had so many titles that they were playing for on a consistent basis. It seemed like them and Youngstown State were fixtures in the FCS championship games for years. They had a pretty good run. But they're not the number 1 team. I think you know the number 1 team is. Number 1 is?
The Broncos.
The Broncos of Boise State, them of Blue Turf fame. Many in this generation probably don't realize they started off as an FCS program. Did not have the success of a Marshall or the other schools there, but when they got to the big stage, I think this tells the story, doesn't it?
The Statue of Liberty, the Fiesta Bowl, 2006, that January, the game-winning score. the proposal moments later and a big-time victory for the Blue Turf Broncos.
For a program that started off at FCS, known for the funny blue turf, won some quality football games, and then the teams that are on the bubble, I think that Middle Tennessee State, Coach Stockstill's done a good job there. Not in the top 5. Troy, they had a great run there. DeMarcus Ware, those guys played there. And Arkansas State, also in the Sun Belt Conference, they were very good when they played FCS football. But those are the top 5, I think. That's why it's called Jay's Gimme 5, not Roy's Gimme 5.
Well stated, my friend. Halftime continues. 17-7 our score. The Mountaineers with the lead.
This halftime report is brought to you by Wall Clippers and Trimmers. Real guys, real grooming. Visit wallrealguys.com.
Back in Boone, start of the second half. Packed house here at the Rock. 17-7 our score. Mountaineers with the lead and the option to receive the second half kickoff. A fun first half. Interesting. Georgia Southern averaging 40 points per game coming in. Scores on its opening possession, and that's it. And the well runs dry on the ground. Just 99 yards rushing in that first half, averaging close to 400 this year.
And what's ironic about that, when Georgia Southern scored right away, we said, uh-oh, a lot of pressure on the App State offense to continue to score. But the defense stepped it up. Now, you start the second half, App State gets the ball to start the second half. They're already up by 10. They can put some points on the board early right now. You start to make a running team in chase mode, one-dimensional and out of their comfort zone.
Youngwei Koo hammers it through the end zone. 1st and 10 from the 25. Big story coming in was Matt Breida leading the country in yards per carry at over 10 yards per touch. But really, it was Marcus Cox in the first 2 quarters. The 63 yards on the ground, the 1 touchdown from 18 yards out, and 30 yards through the air.
Yeah, and Breida's averaging 6.5 yards per carry. That's respectable in this type of game. Down from his 10 yards per carry, but they need to figure out a way to get him going again. And then Marcus Cox has been fantastic running that outside stretch play.
And also perhaps a boost for the Eagles. Ironhead Gallen sat out the first 2 quarters. Was ejected for targeting in the previous game for the Eagles. Now back for the second half. He's got to be a difference maker, Jay.
He has to be second leading tackler for the Eagles, and he gives them the ability to play run and pass. You know, they don't have to go to pure nickel when he's in the game because he can cover a lot of space and he can tackle the second leading tackle there. So I think more importantly, they'd love for him to create some turnovers in this football game. Yet to have one. See if he can maybe jumpstart this defense and the offense will pick it back up.
Cox brought down by Darius Jones Jr. after a gain of 5. Just underway, second half. Critical Sun Belt showdown. And Cox this time ganged up after a pickup of 2. Darius Sapp made the initial hit and a big third down early in this third quarter.
This is the situation where I think you take a look at Ironhead Gallen on the field. So what's he going to do? He has the ability. They're going to keep him inside the box right now. So he's responsible for the tight end and outside run support.
Third down and 3. Mountaineers 3 out of 5 in this spot in the first half. A 4-man front. Play action. Lamb wants it all. He's got a man breaking open. That's Lewis, who can't make the catch. In and out of the midst, Caleb Williams in coverage. Make that Malachi Jones the intended receiver.
And I believe they're settling. You know, as a D coordinator, if I play man-to-man coverage and bring some pressure, I want you to throw the deep fade route. You know, if you're going to attack man-to-man coverage, you run crossing routes. Almost a home run ball, but I think we need to, you know, hit them on a slant. Get a little rub play in there, something where they can get run after catch type yards. But every time you continue to throw the ball vertically down the field and it's an incomplete pass, the defense will take that all day. They win that matchup.
Keaton back deep to receive this Bentley-Critcher punt. So 3 and out for the Mountaineers right out of the gate, and the rugby-style kick wobbles its way past the 40-yard line and marked down at the 44. So outstanding field position for the Eagles after just a 26-yard punt.
Talk about coaching adjustment. It's a chess match. So came out Georgia Southern on fire early. You had Breida with a 20-yard scamper to start off the football game. Got it going and getting to the outside. Not enough black jerseys surrounding the football. So what do they have to do? Let's bring a secondary guy up closer. Look at all the black jerseys, keeping everything boxed in. Don't let him get outside of you. They're trying to force him to run between the tackles, always making him cut back to the middle. One of the adjustments they've made to try and slow down Matt Breida.
Alex Gray, A.J. Howard with sensational first halves. Here's Breida on the option pitch.
Not letting him outside. Not going to happen.
Gang tackled behind the line, and Jay he'll lose 4, call it 5. Doug Middleton with the tackle for loss.
And you can see the pursuit angles that they're taking. After the pitch is gone, they're saying, don't worry about the tackle. Make him change direction. See the pitch, they're not going for the tackle. Upfield shoulder. Make him make a move upfield. He can't get outside. Force the other black jerseys from the inside to make the tackle. They're playing really sound fundamental defense right now.
Eagles need to find their offense. Williams in motion. Play action. And a pass is caught in Appalachian State territory. Oh, just the third completion of the night. And make that Keaton with the reception and a first down.
And Georgia Southern sees man-to-man coverage all the time. A little bit short of the first down.
Yeah, they'll give him 9 there.
That's why I like the crosser run. Give me something where the receiver can run after he makes the catch and pick up extra yards. Comebacks and fade routes, those are not the type of routes you really want versus man-to-man coverage.
Third down and short. Stacked up behind the line, nowhere to run. Alawali Dada brings him down. Another tackle for loss for the junior from Columbus, Georgia.
Another defensive lineman making a great play in the running game.
They're going to go for it.
See him just split the double team and make the tackle for a loss of a yard. Look at this.
You like this call this early?
You're on the road. You got the ball in pretty decent field position. Why not?
On 4th down, Ramsby. A big pickup, and the first down. The drive continues. Finally brought down by Middleton. Gutsy call, rolling the dice.
When you run the ball as good as they do, you say, okay, if you get tackled for one loss, you can't stop us again running the football. Their short yardage specialty back, L.A. Ramsby. Great vision, picks up the yardage, finds the hole.
Eagles now in Appalachian State territory, trailing by 10. Campbell in motion. Play action.
Got him.
Freeze option. And a pass is caught. Into the red zone goes Georgia Southern. Miles Campbell made the diving grab. That should have been a touchdown, but nonetheless, it's a first down.
With a better throw, it's an easy touchdown. Great job schematically. So much misdirection. You're thinking right away, jet sweep. No, then it's option. No, now it's pass, and he just flies by the safety in coverage, Alex Gray. He was open for a long time. Just a better throw, and that's a touchdown. You see how much adjusting Campbell had to do for the ball.
2 backs in the backfield. The principles of the old freeze option you used to see up at Syracuse on that last play. Breida brought down by Eric Boggs. First time tonight we've called his name, the second leading tackler for Appalachian State. Remember some of those teams coached by McPherson back in the day? Those were fun offenses to watch.
Nebraska did it. Steve Taylor, Thompson, Oklahoma. McNabb was one of those quarterbacks.
Right.
Marvin Graves, yeah.
Campbell in motion again. This time will be the lead blocker. Ellison keeps the play alive. Tiptoes. And nowhere to run, but somehow makes a little bit of something out of nothing. He'll lose 3 on the play. It could have been a lot worse than that. Finally brought down by Ronald Blair. Who else?
And I'm surprised. They can't block Ronald Blair. I mean, the offensive line for Georgia Southern in one-on-one situations, they're getting beat to the spot on a regular basis. That really makes your play calling tough when you know that your offensive line can't block their front 3 defensive linemen. This is not a 4-man defensive line. This is a 3-man front that's giving Georgia Southern fits in the run game.
Here comes the crowd. 2 out of 7 on 3rd down tonight for the Eagles. In the pocket, and the blind side hit. Ball popped out. They're going to say the pass is incomplete. Devin Stringer brought the heat. Georgia Southern very fortunate right there, Jack.
Hold on to the football. Ellison never saw him coming. He's going to come from the right half of your screen, top part of your screen right there. Just gets around him with a dip move. That's poor pass protection by Tommy Boyden, number 77. You have to slow him down. Quarterback's not responsible for that.
35-yard field goal attempt from the left hash for Alex Hanks. 8 of 9 this season. Certainly within his range. And he shanked it wide. The Appalachian State defense holds, and another costly miscue by Georgia Southern tonight.
Uncharacteristic. An offense that averages 40 points a game, still stuck on 7.
Under 10 minutes to play in our third quarter. Mountaineers still with a 10-point lead. Now the Watch ESPN app is a must-have for all college football fans this fall. Never miss a touchdown or a game-changing moment. All the best highlights delivered from the field to your phone in seconds. Download the Watch ESPN app right now. And feel good about it. And shots being fired to our friends down in Statesboro, Georgia right now. Ouch!
I can't read it now either. It's upside down, sideways. But we talked about the rivalry, and the students don't necessarily care for each other.
The Rock is rocking tonight.
Great collegiate environment for a football game right now.
Showcase for the Sun Belt Conference. Here's Lamb back in there. Play action on first down, flush from the pocket, and the far side throw incomplete. Well, you get the sense, Jay, that Georgia Southern may have to rely on its defense right now to make a play, maybe force a turnover to change the complexion of this ball game.
Yeah, they're starting to get there, and I think that's what they want Ironhead Gallen to do. You know, and all that being said, Georgia Southern they've fallen on hard times right now, but they're only down by 10. I mean, it's still early, so if the defense can do it, that may help jumpstart it, because right now the offense is struggling, and they're trying to figure out what App State is doing to them.
Second down and 10 after the incompletion. Marcus Cox, the stretch. And stacked up at the line, Ironhead Gallen. And also the front four leading the charge, and Gallen now starting to make an impact.
And this is becoming a heavyweight football game right now. They're exchanging blows. The stretch is not having the success it had in the first half because Georgia Southern has made the adjustment. So now what do you do? And I think this is where Taylor Lamb with his arm has to make a couple plays in the passing game.
Well, Gallen has that look about him. You saw the eyes. Third down and 10. From the shotgun. The tunnel screen. McElfresh with real estate. Stays alive and crossing the 45-yard line. Finally brought down to the 46 by Tay Hicklin. But a pickup of 25 yards on third and long.
It was a great job by the offensive line getting out of the way. Get to the right side. You see number 70, Colby Gospel. Number 60, Jesse Chapman, the center. Getting upfield as screened. Great job setting up your blockers by McElfresh. That's something they don't run a lot of. When you look at the scouting report for App State, bubble screen's not one that you really pay attention to.
McElfresh caught a first half touchdown. Here's Marcus Cox, far side. Into Georgia Southern territory. There's a flag on the backside of the play in the area of holding.
Ooh, tough one. Tough one. I think they're going to call this on 85, Barrett Burns.
Offense number 50. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's Bo Nunn, the right tackle. Scott Satterfield didn't like that call.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's... Whew.
You get that on every play, don't you?
You can call it every play, yeah. When they're moving like that, and so much momentum, one thing you know about them is they know how to run this stretch play. They do it so often. Rarely penalized for it, but in that case there, held on to it just a little bit too long.
Penalties have played a major factor in this one. We saw a 42-yard pickup for Georgia Southern negated due to a holding penalty in the first half. Big one there against the Mountaineers. Cox in the backfield, and Lamb now with time. Across the middle looking for Lewis. He's got it. Mike Lewis makes a grab. Brought down by Antonio Glover.
And this is the crossing route here. Soft spot of the defense is in the middle. Right behind the linebackers. It's called that a second level throw. Nice window. Accurate throw with good coverage by Antonio Glover. A good throw would be good coverage 90% of the time.
Gain of 13 yards. Make it second down and 7 for Taylor Lamb. Past the halfway point of our third quarter. Lamb sensing backside pressure. Flush from the pocket and heaves it downfield. Nobody home. Logan Hunt applying the pressure in the backfield. And a critical third down play coming up once again for this Eagles defense.
You know, one thing I like about Georgia Southern secondary, Antonio Glover, I mean, he's got 5 interceptions on the year. He plays that free safety position. He came off the hash so fast and forced Lamb to tuck the football and run and get rid of it. 5 interceptions from the senior from Atlanta, Georgia, with a high football IQ.
Mountaineers 4 out of 7 on 3rd down, and a false start will back them up 5. Colby Gossett.
False start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Sophomore guard. Scott Satterfield calls the plays here in Boone. Has done a wonderful job. This program turned the corner about the midway point last year, in search of its 9th straight conference victory here tonight.
Replacing a legend, never easy. Jerry Moore built this program for what it was and everything that they did. He played for Coach Moore and has done a good job keeping the values and tradition that they have here, and more importantly, keeping the winning ways of Appalachian State football.
3-man front. Cox gets the call. Nowhere to run. Tackle behind the line. He'll lose 5 by Jamal Johnson. How many times tonight have we called his name?
I'm just trying to figure this out. We've got one offense that averaged 39.5 points. Another one that averages 40.5 points. But this has become a defensive struggle. The defenses have really stepped up. And offensively, neither offense is really doing much damage to the other. This game is still very much in limbo.
Pritchard's done a very good job in the punt game so far tonight. Keaton back deep to receive. And the pressure as Pritchard barely gets it out of there. And the bounce right by the goal line. The touchback will be called. Well, that was close. Malachi Jones thought it may have went out of bounds short of the end zone. Bobo Beathard pleading his case to no avail. All right, so Georgia Southern gets the football back on offense. We'll see what the Eagles can do when we come back, trailing by 10.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And new DQ Bakes artisan-style sandwiches, only at your DQ.
The leaves changing colors back here in Boone. Beautiful fall night. Jay Walker, Roy Philpott, 1st and 10 coming up for the Eagles from their 20. Matt Breida back on the field. He's got to find a way to get going in this 3rd quarter, Jay. Campbell once again in motion. Breida gets the handoff and nowhere to run. A gain of 3. And how many times tonight have we said that?
But I think that's where he's going to find some holes. Running in between the tackles. The game plan is clear for App State. Do not allow Breida to get to the outside. Keep him within the tackle box. So if he can find a crease and take one up the middle, that's where he's going to do some damage this evening. It won't be running sideways.
Officially a gain of 2 yards, under 6 to play in a fast-moving 3rd quarter. And the Mountaineers again showing a 5-man front. Play action Ellison with time and heaves it down the field. Longoria, the intended receiver, he slips and falls, and it's picked off. Off to the races, Mondo Williams. 2 flags on the field. And he slides down safely at the 30. We'll check the penalties. 3 different flags were thrown after the interception and a return of 32 yards by Williams.
I think all 3 were for an illegal block by App State after the interception.
Now the first interception of the year for Williams. Jason Autry with the call.
During the return, illegal block in the back, return team number 6. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It'll be 1st down Appalachian State.
Keaton Gilchrist trying to make something happen.
You see here, this is just a jump ball up for grabs, and the receiver goes down, and good job by Mondo Williams making the play and trying to pick up some return yards. It's incidental contact right there, so no need for a penalty.
I would agree. Big turnover.
Now you hear the crowd start to get into it again. They were kind of quiet. Now they're getting into it, realizing they're getting it going.
Outside zone stretch run. Terrence Upshaw the back. And brought down by Jay Ellison. And the Mountaineers defense. Perhaps we didn't give them enough credit coming in. They've been rock solid tonight here at the Rock.
Yeah, I mean, number one, in the Sun Belt in so many categories, and also, nationwide. Look at their numbers. First in red zone defense, third in defensive touchdowns. The nationwide numbers are just phenomenal. I think the one that's impressive, only giving up 11 points a game. That's phenomenal.
One loss of the year coming at number 12, Clemson last month. They'll run the option. McElfresh, the pitch man. And shoved out of bounds, crossing the 30-yard line. Antoine Williams finally brought him down. Sims McElfresh has caught 5 passes, his first rush of the night right there, and pretty effective with an 18-yard pickup.
And he can do it all. Complete receiver, and keep in mind, this was a walk-on that earned himself a scholarship, and now he's team captain for 2 years consecutively. Right, it's a good football player on and off the field.
Mountaineers with a 10-point lead, looking for more, and a penalty flag. Back them up 5.
False start. Offense, number 20. 5-yard penalty. First down.
They haven't caught a lot of Terrence Upshaw's number tonight.
I saw that coming. We've noticed in a couple of the replays, the running backs are moving towards the line of scrimmage. And you can't do that, particularly when you have somebody going across the formation in motion. So in that case there, Upshaw was the running back behind the quarterback. That guy in motion, he started moving towards the line of scrimmage, and they flagged him for it.
Yeah, I think you, as well as I, realize how important this possession is for Georgia Southern. Do you consider selling out, bringing the house to try to get Appalachian State out of field goal range here?
I think that's what you did before they got the penalty. Now you just want to play sound fundamentals. Look out.
Creeping out of the backfield, Barrett Burns, touchdown Appalachian State.
Stretch makes you peek in the backfield. Faking, they're bringing another run to the outside. And how did Burns get so wide open for that score?
Taylor Lamb, sneaky as an athlete, also sneaky with his ball skills in the backfield as well. Maddox's extra point is up. It is good. And our new score with 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Appalachian State in control. The 24-7 lead. Barrett Burns, his third touchdown grab of the season. Well, don't forget Friday night, the Geico ESPN High School Football Showcase has a 4A Washington State battle between Kamiak and Lake Stevens. Friday Night Lights, 10 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Also streaming live on Watch ESPN. Jacob Eason, of course, the quarterback for Lake Stevens. Current commitment to the Georgia Bulldogs, the strongest arms in the country. Certainly one to watch coming up tomorrow night. Now Georgia, they need some help at quarterback in the coming years. Lack of production with Grayson Lambert and Bryce Ramsey this season. We'll see. Back here in Boone, Jay Walker, Roy Philpott. It has been all Appalachian State. The crowd behind this team, and what happened on this last play? Barrett Burns wide open.
Yeah, miscommunication between Ironhead Gallen and Tay Hicklin on the left side of your screen, right in the middle. It's going down. He's Brennan's free right now, but there's a safety as well as a linebacker peeking in the backfield at the outside stretch play, allowing Burns to get wide open for the score.
Oh, what a great play call, too, by Scott Satterfield.
It is. You set him up. They run that outside stretch. They run the stretch. And the moment you peek to try and come up for run support, we saw how aggressive Gallen was. You need your safety to back you up. In that case, Hicklin did not. And I think the absence of Matt Dobson is really starting to show in that play.
Matt Breida, Kevin Ellison back on the field for Georgia Southern. Breida with some daylight momentarily. He'll pick up 5 yards on the play. Brought down by Eric Boggs. Do you get away from your offense? 3:49 and counting remaining in the third quarter.
No, you still got time because they have explosive capability, particularly with Breida on the field. He can score as quick as you can a pass. I do think I thought we'd see a little bit more Upshaw. Put that speed in the backfield when you're down on the road at 17. Put as much speed on the field as you can.
Inverted wishbone out of the shotgun. You don't see that every day. Ramsey plows his way forward for a first down.
So you've got a pistol quarterback there. Anytime a running back's behind the quarterback, that's called a pistol. And then you've got, like I said, inverted wishbone almost. job being done now with the play selection by Doug Bruce from Georgia Southern. Calling everything inside the tackles. Realizes can't outrun them to the sideline. Let's just try and run the ball in between the tackles.
Quarterback draw. Gain of 2 yards by Ellison. Right now the Eagles just trying to find some way to move the chains. Boggs and Sambo combine to make the stop.
And I hate to say this for a team that rushes for 400 yards, but I just don't know if Georgia Southern is built to run between the tackles. They're built on the threat of running in between the tackles and speed on the perimeter. I don't know if they can just blow you off the ball.
Got to think at some point Ellison's going to have to hit a pass deep. The option here, the quick pitch. Ramsey tripped up and back to the line. And fortunate to get there, Latrell Gibbs. Outstanding cover corner makes the stop.
What's the goal been for the defense? Anytime a pitch comes to the sideline, make them change directions, go upfield, and then adjust. And they're forcing the running backs from Georgia Southern to have to cut back into the teeth of the defense. That's a good job of open field tackling and great coaching by the D coordinator, Nate Woody, with the game plan.
Here comes the crowd. Eagles 2 of 8 on 3rd down tonight. Ellison backside pressure. And throws it into the turf. That was Devin Stringer again. Second time tonight we've seen the Mountaineers dial up that kind of pressure, Jay.
From his outside linebacker position, just turning on the speed. You see the young freshman left tackle, Jeremiah Colbreth, not able to keep up with the speed from Stringer. He's got him one-on-one, and Stringer continues to win that matchup in passing situations.
What a job by this Mountaineers defense this evening. Came in as the best unit in the Sun Belt. So far, so good. Wiki on to punt this one away. And booms one. Caught by Beathard, a spin move and brought down at the 11-yard line. 48-yard punt. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mountaineers there. But don't forget, Saturday on ABC, it's college football presented by Kay Jewelers. Number 6 and undefeated Clemson squares off against Miami. Coming up Saturday night, Saturday Night Football presented by Walmart. Number 1 ranked Ohio State takes on Rutgers. It's Clemson, Miami at noon. Ohio State, Rutgers at 8. Also streaming live on Watch ESPN.
I've had a couple folks on social media give me a hard time about my Gimme 5. The top 5 teams to go from FCS to FBS. And I say, look, we know these 2 teams are having success.
Sure.
They've been there for 1 year. So I think ultimately the goal is to get to where Boise is, where Marshall is, where some of those other schools are. So don't take offense. I think these are 2 good programs, and they've made a smooth transition. But no question, Boise and Marshall, they've been the ones that you want.
Well, these 2 teams were dominant in the FCS ranks. You look at some of the numbers, and Appalachian State, of course, won back-to-back-to-back national championships. They've combined for 9 national titles.
That's phenomenal. And they had different runs. Before there was North Dakota State, there was Appalachian State being the pride of FCS football. When they won 3 consecutive titles, including knocking off the University of Michigan with Monty Edwards, that was phenomenal. And Georgia Southern was a staple there. They used to run the Ham Bone, and before the game I got an opportunity to see one of my heroes growing up, Tracy Ham.
He was here.
So, yeah, he's here at the game and on campus there at Georgia Southern. So, and Adrian Peterson, the other Adrian Peterson went to Georgia Southern. So very, very enriched programs with tradition.
And we're a minute to play in our 3rd quarter. Cox, the outside zone, and gang tackle. As he gets back to the line of scrimmage, Johnson and Antoine Williams combine to make the stop. Both of these teams undefeated in Sun Belt Conference play. Georgia Southern's never lost since joining this league a year ago.
They're in trouble right now.
Very much so.
And they need to figure out something offensively, and still think the defense is going to have to come up with a turnover.
27 in white, Ironhead Gallen, the leaders for this defense, sat out the first half, playing now. May have to make a play here. 3rd down and long. Lamb's going to be pressured and gets that one away as he tumbles in the end zone. So the defense holds on the final play of the 3rd quarter. And so far, so good for the Mountaineers. A 17-point lead. Taylor Lamb and company in control in this Sun Belt showdown at the Rock. Eagles need some points. We'll find out if they can get them coming up.
See you in the third quarter.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. And True Biotics, a daily probiotic from the nutritional experts at One A Day.
Back in the Rock, start of the fourth quarter. Jay Walker, Roy Philpott, glad you could join us. And a 17-point lead for the homestanding Mountaineers. Appalachian State punting out of its own end zone. Eagles likely with good field position. Pritchard turns it over beautifully. Keaton all the way back to the 32. Needs a block to the edge. And stays alive crossing the 40. Finally brought down at the 41 after a 52-yard punt. Well, Matt Breida, one of the top backs in the country, leads the nation in yards per carry, over 10 plus per attempt. You see the numbers in his career. Really has been stymied tonight. They got to find a way to get him going. They got to find a way of doing it quickly.
Yeah, they've got to get going in a hurry. And I think you keep him on the field. I mean, the threat of the home run ball is real out there. They need to do that, but I think if you put Breida in the backfield along with Upshaw, I think that's their speed, and they need to score in a hurry. So it'll be interesting to see when they bring Upshaw back into the game.
The story of this contest so far, this Appalachian State defense. Georgia Southern just 2 plays, more than 7 yards since its first drive of the ball game. Upshaw in at quarterback and dumps it out of bounds. Late flag on the field. On the backside of the play. And a hold will be the call.
Holding, offense number 60. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Andy Kwan, the center.
One of the anchors, and oh yeah, gets beat trying to pass off the assignment. The takedown. The 3-man defensive line for App State has done a good job. And sometimes when you watch Georgia Southern throw the football, it reminds me of like 80s wishbone team. You know, I used to like Steve Taylor, Nebraska, and Jamel Holloway, but those guys couldn't pass. And starting to see that look sometime right now. You're in a passing situation right now, and a team that's run first that doesn't throw the football so well can be painful at times to look at.
John Law brings down Breida after a short pickup. I think you're spot on. You play a team that runs a spread option like Georgia Southern. It's so important for both squads to get off to a good start. You see the numbers since that opening possession. Virtually no offense whatsoever for the Eagles. Upshaw trying to provide a spark. Out of bounds. I saw that play just moments ago.
Look at the situation now. You've got Upshaw in the game, fast quarterback. He's a 32% passer, and he's looking like a 32% passer right now. I think when they call pass plays for him outside of the pocket, they're thinking, hey, if the pass isn't wide open, run it. Use your athleticism in open space to make a play. And it just has not been there. The team speed on defense for App State is real.
Eagles feel like they have some speed on the perimeter. Just haven't been able to connect for any of those long plays tonight. On third down, Upshaw has some running room. Crosses the line of scrimmage, heaves it downfield, and it's picked off. Alex Gray continues a sensational evening. First interception of the season for the junior out of Georgia.
They're not on the same page. You got Upshaw thinking that he wants to run it and pass it. They're confused, and right now it's all App State.
College football primetime returns, presented by Hilton. As number 15 Texas A&M travels to Oxford to take on the 24th ranked Rebels. And then later on Saturday night at 10:30, number 10 Stanford and Washington. Both games on ESPN. Also streaming live. Watch ESPN. Back here at the Rock, Jay Walker and Roy Philpott here with you, otherwise known as Kid Brewer Stadium. 55 degrees, beautiful conditions. Fall is in the air here in North Carolina. And it's been all Mountaineers in this Sun Belt showdown. Straight ahead with the handoff. Gain of 7. Brought down by Govin. And Moore checks back in. Boy, they've got a three-headed monster in that backfield if they want to use it.
They have it with Moore, just the freshman Marcus Cox, and when they bring in Terrence Upshaw, that's when it's hammer time, as they like to see. Terrence Upshaw runs to contact, the heavier the backs, bigger back, power. But right now, I really like this Jalen Moore. He's got a nice first step on.
Moore gets the call again. Jitterbug move and the power to finish it off. Into Georgia Southern territory, brought down by Darius White. And Moore right now over 40 yards rushing, coming off the bench as a third-teamer.
Yeah, good job. I mean, low center gravity. Look at the shoulder pad level. When he runs, he gets to full speed in a hurry, and he's low to the ground right away. You're not going to get a good shot on him, able to change direction. I'd say they're in pretty good hands at the running back position at App State for a couple more years.
Yeah, gain of 12 yards.
And you've got Moore in the backfield. You've got Lamb, just a sophomore. They've got some talent at skill position.
McElfresh in motion. The pitch man, Lamb keeps it and tumbles his way, crossing the 40. Gain of 9 yards. He can also beat you with his legs. Tell you what, Jay, Appalachian State perhaps delivering a message to the rest of the Sun Belt this evening.
I think so. And clearly the two teams that played on Tuesday, Lafayette and Arkansas State. I know that Arkansas State is watching this game closely. This is going to be an interesting, great level competition in this conference.
Mountaineers and Red Wolves coming up 2 weeks from tonight. Dump off to Cox. He's got the first down on second and short, brought down by White. Look at the Sun Belt standings. Arkansas State winning Tuesday night. 3 undefeated teams. And of course, both of these squads on the field right now, trying to become bowl eligible for the first time in school history. Cox back in there. Physical runner. He's not really blessed with the best speed on this roster, Jay, but great vision. He's patient, cuts and moves, brought down by Hicklin that time.
And he's steady. I mean, he doesn't do anything exceptional, but he doesn't do anything bad. He can run, he can block, he can catch. A guy that can stay on the field for all situations. And today's college football landscape, which is predicated on so much substitution, when you have a running back you can plug in there and have him play multiple positions, that's a plus.
Stay with the hot hand. Marcus Cox breaks free. Another first down carry. Into the red zone he goes, brought down by Gallen. Georgia Southern came into this game averaging almost 400 yards rushing. Has been held in check for the entire night. Appalachian State's defense has been the difference. And Marcus Cox offensively with Taylor Lamb, who's thrown for nearly 200 yards himself. It's a nasty 1-2 punch with this program. McElfresh in motion again. Moore checks in. Straight ahead he goes. Gain of 9 brought down by Glover.
This is the statement drive here. This is the statement. You're here at our place. It's conference play. Long-time rivals. We know you. We're not backing down from you. They are taking it to the Eagles right now, who are 10 minutes away from their first loss in Sun Belt Conference play.
What a statement to Willie Fritz's program to be able to put together this kind of winning streak right out of the gate in the FBS. Certainly challenged tonight. Lamb, the keeper, perhaps some confusion on the handoff attempt. Only needed about 1.5 yards, brought down by Gallen. Looks like he'll be marked just short. Well, the upside for Taylor Lamb is enormous. You mentioned just a sophomore, the son of Mercer head coach Bobby Lamb, and enjoyed a lot of success at Furman over the years.
And I think he has the tools to be a drop back quarterback that can pick you apart. You know, if he wants to come out and they want to throw the ball aggressively and throw, I think he can do that, and that will evolve, and they'll start to put more responsibility on him as he matures.
Moore straight ahead, gang tackle. He'll be spotted short of the first down. Allen and Hicklin combined to make the stop. And now on fourth down, decision time for Scott Satterfield.
You go for it. I think if you need a yard, You're up right now by 17. You kick a field goal, you're up by 20. 3 touchdowns still beat you. But if you can score a touchdown right now in this drive, put this game away.
And that's exactly what the crowd wants, and that's exactly what they're going to get. Mountaineers 56% on 4th down this season. Play clock winding down now at 4 seconds. McElfresh in motion. Lamb's going to throw it. And the dump off. McElfresh, first down. And it'll be 1st and goal for the Mountaineers. Oh, a nifty play that time, Jay.
They fake a little jet sweep. He goes and gets open in the route. McElfresh, he knows it's all about leverage. Safety takes a deep drop. Doesn't hug the line of scrimmage. Nice throw from Lamb.
How about McElfresh? All 5'10", 180 pounds of him. Just a spark plug for this App State offense. More in the backfield. McElfresh in motion. And nowhere to run. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Darius Sapp with the tackle. Jay Ellison will have to step off the field after losing his helmet. That rule can be annoying sometimes for really both sides.
It can be. Player safety first and foremost, but I think situations like this, when you get down close to the end zone and you need your goal line defense in there, and all of a sudden your starting defensive tackle has to leave the football game.
Your 310-pound tackle with that. Marcus Cox checks back in. Gets the deep handoff. Tries to get to the edge, can't get there. Brought down by Antoine Williams. And a nice play to prevent the 6 points.
Good athleticism on display by Williams on that play. One of the leaders, and talk about his NFL potential. But he's got great size. 6'3", 245 pounds. He just chased down a 200-pound running back there and made the tackle.
3rd down and goal coming up, under 7 minutes to play in a game that has been dominated by Appalachian State. Mountaineers looking for their 9th straight win in the Sun Belt. Cox. Touchdown Appalachian State. Marcus Cox with the honors once again. And the route is on here in Boone.
Pre-game, we said in the open, they're going to run the stretch. Get outside. Follow the lead blocker. Look at that running lane there. Man blocking scheme. Cox with a great vision to see the hole.
65 yards in 13 plays. Eating more than 7 minutes off the clock. Maddox extra point is up. It is good. Our new score 31-7. Here inside of Kid Brewer Stadium, it's all black and gold. Marcus Cox, the junior from Georgia. It's a 24-point lead. Play back here inside of Kid Brewer Stadium, also known as The Rock. Now the magic number 30 has been reached by Scott Satterfield. 16-1 under his leadership when scoring 30 or more.
Now, who's the one? You know this.
I do.
You were talking about it during the conference call. You do your homework. Turning point for their career.
Liberty last season.
There you go.
In a game that I called. I should know that, right? Jay Walker, Roy Philpott back here with you. It's been all black and gold. Sun Belt showdown. Georgia Southern never lost a Sun Belt game. Looks like until tonight. Keaton back deep to receive and hammered through the end zone. Now the story, the Mountaineers defense containing Matt Breida. You see the numbers for Taylor Lamb, and then Marcus Cox, a workmanlike performance getting the job done.
Yeah, but let's make it even simpler than that. How about 31 unanswered points? That's it. Georgia Southern goes up 7-zip. Give up 31 unanswered points. The offense couldn't respond. Defense didn't do their job. That's what it is, and you have to give credit to the Mountaineers. They really came here to protect this house after it looked like it was going to be a shootout. This #1 ranked defense in the Sun Belt said, not on our field, not on this turf at home.
Crowd coming alive yet again. Energetic, enthusiastic most of the evening. Boggs brings down Breida. And I have to believe this is what the Sun Belt Conference was thinking about when the invitation was extended to Appalachian State several years ago.
And they've done a good job. I mean, the teams that they brought in, they've done really well. I mean, Georgia Southern's a great addition, for the Sun Belt. App State has been a great addition. Coastal will be a great addition when they do that. And this is a very, very competitive football team conference. I mean, for a conference, they do a good job, and hats off. And think about they're going to have, when they go into South Carolina, expanding their boundaries a little bit more. They go from South Carolina all the way to Texas.
Willie Fritz's team needs just one more win to become bowl eligible for the first time in program history, and that was one of the goals this season. We want to play a 13th game. Certainly will have a golden opportunity to do that and then some. There goes Breida, finally springing free and shoved out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
What happened there? You know what? You see the D coordinator's going over there, getting on the sideline. We let him get outside. What did we say? He's not to get outside. Devin Stringer goes inside, number 11. The outside linebacker, he has outside contained. He goes inside. Breida goes outside, makes him pay.
18-yard pickup. Georgia Southern now with 139 yards on the ground tonight. Far short of the nearly 400 it was averaging coming in. Pitch and catch. And a gain of 8 on first down. Stringer makes the stop against Keaton.
You've been here to Boone before. My first time here, and it's been.
You love it.
Yeah, I mean, I do like it. The drive's a little tough. I don't like all those.
The elevation's a little high.
Yeah, but I mean, the environment, the atmosphere, I think this is I see what all the talk is about. Nice facilities here. I like to see them probably take the model that Middle Tennessee State did for a while. Start playing some of the Power 5 programs here. Make a home and home deal. Like Middle Tennessee would have a school from the Big Ten come into Murfreesboro, give those fans an opportunity to see those type games, and I think.
Ball start. Offense, number 58. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, you just look right up the road at NC State, who played at South Alabama earlier this year and at Old Dominion. You got to think the Mountaineers would love to have an in-state rival here.
The only problem, I'm not sure how many teams are knocking down the door to come here into Boone, because you come here to play this team, you may go home with an L. But I think that's what's next, probably for both of these programs.
Remember, too, Appalachian State's lone loss this season came at number 12, Clemson. Georgia Southern's only loss prior to tonight was at West Virginia to open the year. And certainly the Eagles, we hear our friends down in Statesboro.
That game there, can you imagine West Virginia, Georgia Southern? West Virginia, they really don't want to run the ball ever.
Right.
They just want to throw it all day, and Georgia Southern really don't want to pass the ball.
Well, and important to note, too, tonight that Georgia Southern's got a lot of football left to be played. And this holds up, just their second loss of the season. There goes Kevin Ellison. The spin move keeps it alive, far side. And twists and turns his way into the red zone, crossing the 20. Finally brought down by Gray after a gain of 29.
He was the X factor in that opening drive. He made runs like this. When you don't account for the quarterback, his athleticism takes over, the ability to make defenders miss. Great balance. Good job to see Kevin Ellison playing it all the way to the end.
From the 19, Ramsby stays alive, bounces it outside, and it's got a Georgia Southern touchdown. So it took some time, but this time from 19 yards out, the Eagles back on the scoreboard, and Willie Fritz says, let's go for 2. Well, for different reasons tonight, the Eagles just have been held in check until this drive.
They got outside again. It all happens. See, they haven't bottled up. Once they get outside, that's where there's no black jersey. Those have been the mistakes that they've made. So when Georgia Southern has had success running the football, it's been when they were able to bounce to the outside.
So with a 2-point conversion opportunity, a chance to make it a 2-score game. Here goes in motion. Ellison out of the shotgun. Makes the quarterback draw, takes off, and is stopped short of the goal line. Now Devin Stringer's been a one-man wrecking crew tonight, but Georgia Southern back on the scoreboard, trailing now by 18. Some trash talk between these two old rivals, and L.A. Ramsby trying to keep his team's faint hopes alive. The Geico ESPN High School Football Showcase coming up tomorrow night for a Washington State battle in store for you. Kamiak battles Lake Stevens, Friday Night Lights, 10 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, also streaming on Watch ESPN. Several times, Jacob Eason, strong arm quarterback for Lake Stevens. Georgia commitment, certainly one to watch tomorrow evening. And Willie Fritz now will attempt an onside kick, his team trailing 31-13 back in Boone. Jay Walker, Roy Philpott. Tap forward, a scrum. I believe Appalachian State recovered, and they did. Montez McGuire recovers the onside kick. And a timeout on the field as we step aside. 3:28 remaining. Appalachian State in control with possession of the football when we come back. All Mountaineers back here in Boone. Jay Walker, Roy Philpott. Last kick, the onside kick, did not go far enough. Penalty was declined. Upshaw, far side. Tries to stay in bounds. Shoved out finally at the 30 by Caleb Williams. Gain of 15 yards.
He was surprised. Upshaw's the back. I told you he likes to run the contact. So he saw daylight on the outside. I don't know who I hit, and it was too late. So he's a in between the tackle type guy, bruising style. Showed a little bit of niftiness there, able to get to the outside and pick up the first down.
Two of the top teams in the FCS ranks years ago making their mark now at college football's highest level. Appalachian State with a win tonight becomes bowl eligible for the first time. Upshaw straight ahead and twists his way down to the 15, brought down by Gallen. You really can't speak enough about that, Jay. Great job that both of these head coaches have done and these programs in general as Upshaw rushes for 14. But to go from where they were to where they are now in the Sun Belt, very impressive.
It speaks volumes about the programs themselves, and then also some really good coaches. And these coaches haven't been at these schools for that long, but as head coaches, but they're getting it done. I mean, Willie Fritz can coach at any level. He's proven that. Success at Sam Houston State. Then he comes over to Georgia Southern, starts winning. And App State, following the legends, always tough. Great job by Scott Scatterfield, former quarterback here. So for programs, I think they're doing it right.
Yeah, the funny thing is, too, Appalachian State goes to the Big House 2007, pulls off the upset against fifth-ranked Michigan. I think you could argue the Wolverines haven't been the same team since. But Appalachian State didn't sit on its hands afterwards. They took it to the next level. They won another championship. They set their eyes on the FBS ranks, enhanced their facilities. Remarkable facility here at the Rock. And it's just been an incredible run. McElfresh, the deep pitch, and dances his way down to the 10.
You say Appalachian State, they beat Michigan at Michigan?
I think that's the rumor.
Oh, I remember that. Little kid named Amani Edwards running around and blocking the kick. I mean, that had to be. I'm an FCS guy. I played FCS football. I mean, that was a defining moment. For everybody that played FCS football, even like college football, that was like the ultimate David versus Goliath story. To go there and beat Michigan, ranked in the top 10 in front of 100,000 folks.
See the offensive numbers tonight. 420 yards of total offense. Third down and 4. And the near side run, nearly a horse collar. Out of bounds at the 1. Well, let's take you back in time once again. The season opener 8 years ago in the Big House. Michigan going for the field goal and the win. It's blocked. And the unthinkable occurs. Michigan considered a national championship contender before this play. And what a win for Armani Edwards, Coach Moore, and Appalachian State really putting this program on the map.
At that time, they were the two-time defending champs. And give them credit, they put 34 points up. I mean, that was an offense that could do it. Edwards was special. He just retired from the NFL this year. A career as a wide receiver there. One of those moments that'll go down in college football infamy.
Now that'll just about do it. A lot of trash talking last year, perhaps some more on the field this season. As Scott Satterfield races across the field, he'll shake the hand of Willie Fritz in a show of respect. And for the first time ever, Appalachian State becomes bowl eligible. And the final score 31-13.
With the fan base they have and the rest of the conference play coming the way they're going, they'll be bowling. Somebody's going to want to take this program and see how far they can make it go. So the journey upward continues for the Mountaineers.
What a night for the Appalachian State defense. Taylor Lamb gets the job done. As we step aside, we're back to wrap things up right after this. What a scene here in Boone. Our final score once again 31-13. Jay Walker, Roy Philpott back with you. A game that had been more than a year in the making after a 34-14 beatdown at the hands of Georgia Southern last year in Statesboro. Appalachian State responds and then some this evening, Jay.
And they knew what was on the line. They came out with something to prove. They had a chip on their shoulder. The fans knew what was at stake. Everybody knew what was at stake. They did a phenomenal job of really shutting down one of the most potent rushing attacks in the country. They came out and performed outstanding defensively.
The battle of the running backs goes to Marcus Cox tonight, 14 in black. What a performance, 21 carries. Goes for nearly 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. The outside zone stretch play working early.
Yeah, that's their signature play. They like to run it often, and he's got great vision and able to do that. But more importantly, able to catch the football. A steady back, a guy that does not have to leave the football field. Tonight, he was the best football player I saw on the field tonight. Special performance and a special win for this program.
Especially coming here at the Rock. You see the last touchdown he scored, just busting through the line of scrimmage. 18 yards out for the key plays in this second half. Now, beautiful night for college football. We'll go to the homestanding Appalachian State Mountaineers. Georgia Southern back to the drawing board, Jay. You'll see them a week from tonight against Texas State.
And I'm sure they'll rebound. That's what a well-coached team does. They came on the road. They have to learn about conference play on the road. When we talk about Sun Belt Conference football, you've got 2 teams now still undefeated. Arkansas State, impressive victory. Watch out for them. Appalachian State, the Mountaineers, undefeated in conference play in 2015.
What an atmosphere, what an environment. Appalachian State defeats Georgia Southern. Our final score once again, 31-13. For our producer Adam Coppinger, for Jay Walker, I'm Roy Philpott saying so long from Boone. Coming up next, ESPN Films 30 for 30, Brian and the Bombs.